We should get coffee sometime or something.
Yeah, I'd love to, but the only thing is Daphne can't find out.
What? I think it's time for you to leave.
Jinkies.
So, what was that about?
It was just nothing. We were just catching up.
Just talking? That's it?
We were just
Nothing happened?
No, we were just talking, I swear.
Alright. Well, I want to get lunch then, I guess?
Yeah,
Not a big
sure.
deal? Alright,
Yeah.
let's go. Oh, jeepers!
Damn.
Yo, Freddy. Zoink, Scoob! It looks like we have a mystery.
Let's solve this mystery. First, I'm going to secure the scene. Each one of you saw or heard something that had to do with the crime that just happened. So what we're going to do is we're going to separate you and get each of your individual stories. Except for you, sir, you're going to stay here with me as I interview you. You two, please go that way. The other officer will show you where to go. Sir, I'm going to need you to stop doing that. It's a possible weapon and I'm a police officer.
My whole body's a weapon.
Alright, well, we'll begin the questions. Did you see or hear anything unusual coming from Freddy's house as they did the crime?
Yeah, there was this fine blonde woman with a purple shirt. She was heading due south into my heart.
So, Vilma, you were the last one to see Fred alive?
No. His wretched girlfriend, Daphne, came and interrupted us.
So you weren't the last to see him alive. Daphne was.
That's correct. Did I stutter?
So, you're the one who called the cops, correct?
What's it to you, pig?
Well, what'd you see that made you call the cops?
I saw my boy Freddy. God bless his soul.
What was wrong with Freddy?
Blood everywhere.
Well, do you have an alibi for the crime?
Ask Scoob.
The room shows no signs of a struggle, indicating that the victim may have known the assailant. Blood spatter on the ceiling, indicative of a low-velocity, sharp force trauma, and the weapon being removed upward from the victim. Assailant likely left the room via this egress point of the open door. Possible fingerprints could be found on the key and doorknob. Victim laying face down with a skin defect in the rear. Otherwise, the room seems relatively normal. I'm going to use the grid pattern to search for possible evidence. Seems to be some kind of fiber right here. Definitely get class evidence from that. There's a long hair right here. Definitely a blood spatter pattern in the ceiling. Investigators lifted some fingerprints from the doorknob over here. We'll begin to check outside for any secondary crime. And that just might be our murder weapon. We have to secure our secondary crime scene to avoid any of the evidence outside getting contaminated. We're now going to secure the murder weapon as evidence. We're going to secure hair and fiber evidence using a paper bindle. Now we're going to collect the purple fiber found using the same bindle technique. After a long day of crime fighting, I like to hydrate with Poland Spring, natural spring water. Sliding the seal to make sure it doesn't get broken. Documenting chain of custody, so we know who has the evidence. Using black magnetic powder, we're going to be able to lift a fingerprint from this key that the assailant may have used. Using tape, we can lift the fingerprint. Get a high resolution 1:1 photo, which we can then run through the AVIS. Our crime scene fingerprint had a whorl pattern, but our three suspects, only one of them had a whorl pattern similarly, and that was Daphne. We also noticed similar bifurcations and ridge endings between our crime scene fingerprint and that of Daphne. After analyzing the hair sample that we found at the scene, we noted that this color was blonde, and it did come from a human species. After analyzing DNA from the crime scene as well as our three suspects, we noted that the riff lips of our crime scene DNA almost match perfectly the riff lips in the DNA of Daphne. After analyzing the purple fiber found at the crime scene against Velma's orange shirt, Shaggy's green shirt, and Daphne's purple shirt, we noted that the fibers found at the crime scene is almost identical to the fiber found inside of Daphne's shirt, which she wears every single day. The wound found on the body was consistent with that of a single-edged blade with no hilt, as we found sharp force trauma wounds, but no blunt force trauma wounds. Therefore, the weapon found outside the residence is most likely the murder weapon that was used in the assault. The blood spatter pattern noted on the ceiling is consistent with a low-velocity blood spatter, likely caused from lifting the murder weapon up and out from the victim. That could indicate that the assailant was shorter than the victim and reaching up to stab him in the back. This is consistent with Daphne, who is one of the main suspects of the case. So Daphne,
Yes.
can you outline the events on the day that Freddie was murdered?
Sure. So around 2 o'clock, I had got to Freddie's house because we had plans to hang out. So when I went downstairs to the basement, I had noticed that Velma was there with him, having a conversation about who knows what. But I guess she took it upon herself to get up and leave. And I asked Freddie if he wanted to go grab some lunch. He said he wasn't feeling well, so I just decided to leave. And there was that. I guess Velma came back because she just has it out for me for God knows how long. So, whatever. I guess she's the one who should be interviewing instead of me.
Well, we did find a sample of your hair, as well as fibers from your shirt, and DNA linking you to the crime, as well as circumstantial evidence that puts you at the crime scene at the exact time that Freddie was murdered.
Well, I don't want to talk to you without my lawyer here, so you can have a great day.
I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. You could cut ties with all the lies that you've been living in.